Talk Show.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 524.
What's happening, guys? What's going on? We're back in Melbourne.
Do I sound different?
Less planes flying over your head.
Well, I feel like when you took the flight, I feel like you had a bit of sinusy issues off the back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still coming down off the trip. It's always annoying when you get a bit sick after a solid, fun trip.
Did you have what's the thing that everyone has?
What is it? Ebola?
No, no.
That was big.
97
That was big.
Yeah, it was a big. No, I was thinking more like taking the things.
Melatonin.
No, it's not even melatonin.
What is
That
it?
Candy hurts as well. Candy, do you know that it's the
You got to explain it.
Wait, are you talking about the illness or are you talking about the solution to the illness?
It's a solution. All the if you're on a shoot or whatever, everyone gives you this stuff. Armour
steroids?
Force.
You know the thing about Armour Force, that it's now hidden like behind the pharmacist's wall.
Really?
Because I think it's so expensive. People steal this shit. It's like $59 or something, a container of 50
I've actually
pills.
got some in my bag.
Really?
Do you?
I do.
Super rich.
So we're back in the studio. We've got a little audience here. We've got Candy Hertz, who I used to co-host Shepparton Breakfast with. You know, I did
Hashtag
radio.
Shepparton.
Yeah, were you on Shepparton Radio?
It's a running joke now, Candy, that I say, oh, did you know? I'm not sure if you know, but I was on radio in Shepparton.
You talk about it all the time?
Nah, not much.
Yeah. It's his only reference point of life.
But you were one of my co-hosts,
Yes.
along with Stacey June. She's actually on the show next week.
Oh, great.
So,
Snap.
you came in first. And so you've got a few friends here.
Yes, we've got a couple of students from Collards who are doing audio storytelling. Hello to Rowan and to Matt, who came along today to
G'day,
learn
guys.
a little bit about podcasting.
You can pick up the
Hello.
microphone. Hi,
That's
Rowan.
Rowan.
Rowan, what's your favourite podcast?
This one.
What about this? What is a second favourite?
I like Jonathan Van Ness.
Oh, yeah.
His podcast.
He's great.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
I think it's called Getting Curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the guy from Queer Eye. Long hair.
Oh, yep.
Very cool.
And what about you, Matt?
I think my favourite one is Switched On Pop. So
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that pop music one?
I wonder how they do that with licensing.
Yeah, me too. I was wondering that actually. Yeah.
Who
They just make
runs it?
$0 from it.
No, well, even if you made zero, I think there's like all this work on they're trying to make licensing easier for podcasts because at the moment, we don't use any music, commercial music or anything like that.
What's the Wild Wild West? But as soon as they crack down, then everyone who did just be absolute cowboys get screwed.
Well, Ash Williams, who's got a podcast.
Does he now?
Yeah, Ash is great.
Oh, great.
And he's very loose, but he's part of Acast, I think it is, and he got an email from their lawyer saying, can you stop playing music at the end of your podcast?
It might be that they don't play the whole song at any point. They just play snippets. Maybe you're allowed to do snippets.
There's a in the US they have something called what is it called?
Free use. Or
Fair use.
use.
So it's a fair use copyright thing, which means you can use bits and snippets out of things. We
Yeah.
don't have that in Australia, so we can still get in trouble. Anyway,
It's
good
Fat
bit of
Friday,
admin.
which I want to get to soon. I've been out to Shoppo. The reason I was at Shoppo, which is a local shopping centre. Who called it Shoppo? I was wondering, where did that nickname come from? Doncaster Shopping
Yeah, it was
Centre?
definitely Doncaster Shop. Yeah.
Shoppo, is it just, it's abbreviated?
Well, I think 97. Do you know where Shoppo came from?
Some bogan.
No, it would have. Well, people call it Donny,
Donny.
Shoppo.
What else?
I mean, I call it the mall.
Yeah, but you're from New Zealand. The mall was-
Kiwis.
Oh, mate.
It's definitely a Kiwi thing.
Candy, do you remember we did the mall versus Mal, or the Maud Street mall?
Yeah, there's a lot of
But it's
interesting
not
things in Shep.
it's not a mall.
It was just a bit of a street.
It's a blocked off street, so you can't drive
So
down.
you did? Was it a phoner?
Oh,
or
mate, it was a
rave?
full 7-week intensive arc. Got to fill air somehow.
So
I'll get to that. But I went to Chad's. I went to Shoppo yesterday because my phone. So I checked emails in the morning, and then all of a sudden I couldn't open my phone. It was the death of me. I couldn't fucking get into it at all. Like phone calls were coming through, couldn't answer it. So my swipe screen had completely gone.
And when you told me this, I was like, I'm 99% sure I'll be able to fix this.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'll give it here, and I did a reset thing, and it like turned on. I was like, oh, here we go. I've refixed it. I was so happy with myself.
Switch it on, switch it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate,
But-
I'd done everything. So the iPhone X, you have to do some up, down, hold.
Yeah, it's a very
turn
weird,
off.
it's a little dance on your phone.
And then, it was completely cooked. I'd done it before. I'd fixed it that way, Josh. And so I had to take it in. Luckily, I got an appointment. And so, but I took it to them at 3 p.m.
Apple Genius Bar.
That was yesterday, and they said to me, "Yeah, so you're going to have to leave it with us. When did you last back it up?" Handy hint. I didn't know when I'd last backed up my phone to my iCloud. You can sign in on web and check that device at the exact time it took all your data last time. So last night. So it was like if I was to lose anything, it wouldn't have been bad because I had a backup from 12 a.m. or something. Anyway, they said to me, "You have to leave it with us." And I said, "So what am I going to do? Be phoneless?" And she said, the only solution she gave me was buy a phone.
Seriously?
We have a 14-day return policy and then just return it tomorrow.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I'm not that afraid of admin like you, but I said too much admin.
Yeah.
Way too
It's
much.
ridiculous.
And I have to spend the cash.
We have to keep I reckon I would end up fucking it up and throwing out the box. And then so sorry, you can't return it.
She literally, her words were, "You can buy a burner." It's like,
Really?
babe, that's not a burner. That's a fucking $700 iPhone. Even what's the cheapest iPhone you can buy?
Yeah, that's not. You're not getting anything for that. An
grand.
iPhone 4.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I was naked last night. I had no phone, and I was by myself. My wife went out for dinner, and so I had to go pick
Did it
up
make things
Bodie.
hard?
Well, it made so. There's the first panic was Bodie likes to listen to Paw Patrol in the car, Catboy in the car, and we can't listen to Catboy. And so I went to pick him up at like 6 p.m. and luckily he hadn't slept. Well, it could have been unlucky because he hadn't slept all day, so he didn't have a nap. He
Is
could
that
have
a
been
good thing?
He could have been absolutely wild, or he could have been the loveliest little sweet boy. And he was the sweet boy.
Oh, that's good.
And so I said to him, I just told him, "Daddy's phone's broken. I don't have it, so we can't." And he said, "Oh," and he was really empathetic about, "Oh, sorry, Daddy," or something like that. It was beautiful. And so we had a really lovely night with no phone, but I really enjoyed it. I woke up
Got
with
to bed at 7.
No, I got to bed. Yeah, I got to bed a little later, but I didn't have an alarm.
Do you know what time it was?
I don't know. Oh, no, I was on my computer.
Okay.
The wake up bit though, I didn't know what time it was because I didn't have an alarm for waking up. This is where
Did Amy come home
No, Amy was out.
all night? She stayed somewhere.
She stayed at.
She was loose. She was posting Insta stories.
Yeah.
She's
What
like,
was
I know
saying?
you'll never see them.
Yeah.
So
She posted this Insta story.
Mama's
Mama's out on the town tonight. And I just wrote back to her and said, "Mama's going to have a sore head tomorrow." She was with Bodie's godfather, her best mate from Sydney. And so they had a nice apartment in the city and it's not an affair. It's not an affair.
It's so good. Your phone stopped working. It sounds like an absolute nightmare in regards to
Anyway,
the
so
rumour mill.
it was lovely, but I was thinking, I'm already at that point now. How many days until the end of the year? It's like 30. It's like 36 or so, I don't know, something like that. I'm already at the point now where I'm like
41.
41. Starting to go, I'll start that in January. You know, it's like they're almost.
Excuse.
Yeah.
I've got the excuse of like, that's when I'll save. For
You only
January.
started that now. I reckon probably
Jan 2 for you.
No. Seriously, probably July 1.
July 1. What you
I
were
was
like?
July 1. I was like, okay, new financial year. Not right. I'll do it. But I think I'm starting to sort of slowly move into things. So I'm trialing certain things with the idea that it could potentially be a New Year's resolution.
Well, one that I was thinking for next year, 41 days away, was around the phone stuff. And so like just removing the phone. Because I think it's like I've tried the old I'll stop using apps. Like Matt Diavella, when we were at his place, he's like, I'll share this on my Insta stories. He's like, I'll have to download. He had to download Insta stories. So he had to download Instagram because he deletes it off his phone. That's a solid effort.
It's a lot of work.
And so the removing of the phone is a different thing. And I was thinking for next year, there's a bunch of stuff that I want to implement, which we can get to in the next 41 days. I'll still make up my mind about what rules I want to put in place.
You cut out alcohol this year.
Cut out alcohol.
still
You
out?
haven't- Yeah.
Zero drinks.
Yeah. Even when we were at EPLP in Los Angeles.
I just wanted to launch.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really did. I was just sniffing it. He gave us some nice French champagne. Thanks,
Oh,
Grant.
Tommy.
I was just sniffing it. But it
Sad.
wasn't that bad. Like these guys were drunk.
Yeah.
And
Well done, because apparently that's not normal.
Yeah, no,
For-
it's not normal.
for
no.
these boys. Yeah.
That's
So,
it.
yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't know. I need
Is
another
it
rule.
true? Because you said to me a week ago, you said, I'm thinking about next year being about moderation. So having one drink a night.
Yeah, one
Are
drink
you-
a night for 365
Every night,
days. Well, I wonder what I would like to see, because I've lent into the sobriety thing, so the removal completely. But I want to, and then I don't know if it is the removal of the substance that makes you more conscious and aware of your mental state, so your mental health. And I don't know if I'm more aware of my anxieties or, the feelings that I'm experiencing daily that was just being masked before. So I don't know if it's like, what am I trying to say?
You don't know if it's
bit-
actually created that for you or
Yeah,
whether
so-
it was just
yeah.
masking it.
And so I don't know, am I actually better having a few
Maybe a
drinks?
bit of numbing is good.
Well, like if it's not completely sort of, flat out alcoholism,
Yeah.
like, every night drunk, I wonder what that looks like.
Yeah.
Candy, we used to drink back in Shep. We had a few big nights out. Whoa.
Just a couple.
Jeez.
Just a couple. I
deck.
love that question, and it's a really the question is like, does alcohol just make you maybe a bit looser and a bit more comfortable to just relax into yourself a bit more, or is it bringing out a different version of you that's already in there? It just needs to be released. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to know what it is. I definitely I still have nights out. Like I'm definitely still in that phase, and like there's stuff that I think and say when I'm drinking that I don't know if I definitely think it or not when I'm not.
Yeah.
Do you like it? The next day, do you feel like
Depends on how many drinks are involved.
Yeah.
If it was too many drinks, then no, of course not. Like it's an awful feeling. If it was a nice night out, I love the social aspect of it more so than what the alcohol does to me, I think. So in theory, I could be sipping on, vodka, like just the soda and lime part of it all night. But there is also something fun about the social element of drinking.
Well-
And then Conspiracy Jimmy said, correlation doesn't equal causation. So it could me thinking I'm better off without alcohol. Does that equal a greater consistency of happiness?
Yeah. I mean, 97 and I went to Pete Shepard's 30th birthday, surprise birthday.
You've come as Pete today.
Yeah, I'm
You
wearing those glasses.
You've got. He's not. I mean, it's amazing how you shift your glasses, and it's so noticeable instantly to someone around you. Because I think your other glasses make you look like you don't have glasses on because there's no
what do
rim.
you think? Do you like these ones?
I actually like your other ones,
Okay.
but they're kind of cool. They're very like, hey, look at me wearing glasses. That's me. I'm that guy.
How ironic because they're clear.
yeah, they are.
But they're clear, but they're very like compared to your Steve Jobsies.
Yeah, Steve Jobs.
They're
Well,
yeah.
I even had a wine at the 30th, and 97 reckons I took one sip, and he reckons that it affected
You're
me.
a better bloke.
Yeah.
Better
No, he was.
bloke?
He was more
Listens
talkative. He was up and about. He was trying to organise a photo.
Yeah.
There was a massive group photo that we were trying to take, and
Did you take that?
No, but I
coordinated
said,
it.
yeah.
I said, attention, everyone, attention.
Coordinate, micromanage.
No, but we got it happening.
Yeah.
But do you think that I should maybe have a drink every time I go out?
maybe not every time. I think you do loosen up a lot.
Yeah.
Like you're just a bit more talkative, maybe a bit funnier. You're just a bit
Thank
loose.
you. Well, I'm trying to experiment. I actually, on the night after, I asked Brie, I'm like, oh, do you want to, we'll have some red wine. It's like, oh, I don't feel like it tonight or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to have some anyway. And then I was like, controlled environment, experiment. Never finished a bottle before.
Did you?
What night was this?
Yeah, so this was Sunday. And so I had the whole bottle. And then the thing was that 97 and I had to, I've never had that amount before. Woke up in the morning and I just sort of had this slight panic because we were driving to Geelong. I was like, if I'm definitely not over, but I just had that moment of like, I don't know my body that well. If I was over and I got fucking RBT and I've got 97 in the car, could you smell alcohol on me?
No, I couldn't. No.
Okay.
Absolute disaster.
I was a little bit paranoid about it. It's just like, it's just not a good look.
No, I had no idea.
Okay.
Where does the no drinking come from?
I don't know. A lot of people ask me, but because they're expecting some form of like sort of dark, everyone's got like a dark story of like someone in their
Oh, but you're
family.
quite uptight. And so that, like in general, and then you just, I get it. But so now you've sort of experienced it and you're like, oh, this is actually not that bad.
Well, I was a fat kid, and so I was obsessed with calories and stuff, and so then it was like I just didn't need it, but also I didn't like the social situation, like the settings of like what do they call it? When you would
Social anxiety.
no, when you hang out with friends, They called them something specific. They're not parties.
Gatherings.
Gatherings.
Who says that?
Going,
Yeah, as a
guys,
kid,
no,
it was like,
three-year-olds.
we're having a gathering.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so I would sometimes get to go to the gatherings, but mostly not. But anyway, so that was an interesting experience.
I mean, if you
Smash the ball.
don't like being in those social environments and you're not going to sit at home and drink by yourself, which is a very positive thing, then when else would you drink?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, inspired by Matt D. Vella and his sort of tests that he does. This has been a long test.
Yeah. Well, you've also not done porn. Are you going to do porn once a
No,
day?
I'm not going to. I've quit porn. It's
Just a bit.
How addicted were you?
no, that's the problem. Everyone thinks you're addicted when you say you've quit.
A long neck and Pornhub just every night.
No, I just was like, I haven't watched porn in a while. May as well stop watching porn completely. And so I was like, yeah. I think you grow up watching porn as a young man. A lot of young, like that's what shit you'd talk about with the boys when you're 13,
Woof, woof.
14.
What? When you're 13, you watch porn?
Yeah.
I would have watched porn when I
I
was
do not understand
8
boys.
Yeah.
or 9, I reckon, for the first time.
I remember primary school, they didn't have filters and it became a
yeah.
problem, like internet filters, because it's just like you just type in, SEX search.
Yeah, .com. And so that's .com. Yeah. Rotten.com. No, I think these are all patterns. And so the drinking from when I was 13, when I first started, you develop a pattern.
Yeah.
Porn, you develop a pattern. All these things, it's like you got to break the cycle to then form if you want to enter that world again. So I'm not saying porn's bad for everybody, but maybe I think it helped. I think it definitely helped my relationship. Sort of like you see the immediate effects when you stop doing it for a short period of time. You're like actually more attracted just because you're getting stimulation from something other than the person that you're with, right?
And you've got an hour extra a day to do other stuff.
Hey, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that at all.
Okay.
They don't make it out like that. But next year, so what I'm saying is no porn, but I don't know. I'll work out the drinking thing. Were
there any scenarios this year that you kind of were like, in this moment, I just really want to be drinking?
No, because I'm pretty strict on myself when I've decided on something.
Yeah.
And so as much as out with you guys, I was just like, I'd love to have this fun with you boys.
But that was one. Like that's one time.
That's
did
one,
You,
and
did
then
you
my-
avoid
so-
going out? Is kind of my
Yeah, I
question.
reckon there was
You haven't
definitely.
gone out.
I haven't gone out as much.
So
And,
At all, I
so what
reckon.
I've actually thought about is like, we've been doing this, the business and the podcast. It's taken up a lot of our time this year.
Yes.
Focusing on friendship is something I want to do more of next year. And I think it actually is connected to the social lubricant. It's not that I can't socialize without alcohol, but it's like one of my favorite things to do is drink beers with my best mate Jimmy.
Yeah.
And we can just
He's
sit
good
there
quality.
for hours. And it's not like I love him when I'm sober. I love him when I'm pissed. We just have so much fun when we're doing it, and it brought us together. And now we've got kids, the same age, so we hang out, that stuff. But there is definitely something that I'm missing in terms of the social setting that is around the alcohol. So it's like
Because
the
all of my
meetup
friends
and-
that have quit over the years then stopped going out.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is that a positive then? Like if
Yeah.
part of the reason you're quitting is because you want to, work on your mental health and things like that, but then you're disconnecting from your friendship groups, then do you have to reform new groups, or can you find a way to still do that just without the alcohol?
Well, it's a long journey. So we've done a year off, and then I'll see.
So you're
now I
going to
can
start next year. So does that mean you have December off from friends still?
No, it's not December. I haven't made
So,
a
like, no
hard out with
Christmas.
friends. I haven't done that at
Will
all.
Conspiracy Jimmy see you before the end of the year?
Yeah, we speak on Telegram. No. We will, definitely. But I don't know, Christmas parties, and there's definitely, it's a hard one to navigate. Everyone's on their own journey.
97, what do you normally do for Christmas?
Don't believe in it.
No, we usually we've got a fake tree. So Mum, the one that Ellen DeGeneres has, she's got like a brand that sponsors her or whatever.
What
Mum's-
does that mean?
Well, she's just like in her studio, she's got a fake Christmas tree. And so Mum saw it on Ellen DeGeneres or online or
okay.
something, and she got a tree. So
Okay.
we don't
What's the
actually get
brand?
it. I'm not sure.
Did you
don't
find
get
out?
it. Yeah. We don't actually get one of the proper trees anymore because Dad used to get a bunch of irritation, but we just hang out as a family and then call family back in New Zealand, wish them Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's nice. So this tree, No, I'm just
How
curious.
much?
Yeah, like
How
so.
much? Do
Is
you
it
want
getting
one?
is it getting sent?
Must get shipped on like Amazon.
Yeah, is that like where is it coming from? I'm
Amy
curious.
wants a real one. She's getting a real one for
Oh
us.
well, Bulleen life, you can do it.
Yes, suburb
Are
life.
you gonna do a
Doesn't it like make a heck of a lot of a mess?
Yeah.
Well, Candy's, you're Jewish.
Yeah.
Do you celebrate? I can't remember. If
No. Some Jewish people do.
Oh, I've got a lot of Jew mates that
Yeah.
fucking love the party.
Get around
I'm
it.
happy to definitely go to every Christmas party I'm invited to.
Okay, so that's it. The party thing. It's
Yeah,
just
I'm
the-
happy to accept
what it
presents if
actually
people
meant.
want to give me some.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. I never know what to do with, like, if I'm dating
Yeah.
someone or something. I'm like, oh, it's important to you. I'll buy presents for you. And then I find it awkward when they buy me a present.
I tell you what, the Jews have a lot more parties.
We do, but can I say we don't have something? Yes, technically we have Hanukkah, which is like this 8-day thing where in theory you get a present every day. I've never celebrated that.
Yeah,
My parents tapped out on that one, unfortunately. But I don't actually know many people that do. So I think we really miss out on you get a big present for your birthday and then you can get another big present for Christmas.
Yeah,
we miss
yeah.
out on the second big present. It's really annoying.
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, I wanted to be Chinese.
What? Oh, because the money?
For the red
the
envelope.
red-
the red
yes.
envelope.
Red envelope.
I was just like,
Chinese.
what? You don't have to
We
do
get,
anything.
we get a red envelope for our wedding from
Really?
Amy's friend who's
Oh, that's
Chinese.
perfect.
And so I was like, fucking.
I do like it. Just
It is.
cash.
Yeah.
Just cash
You
money.
know-
It feels
you
more
know-
exciting in the red envelope though.
yeah, definitely.
like
Maybe
it's
I'll
worth
get
more.
some red. Maybe that's what I'll do for Christmas
Get
this
red
year
envelopes
for you
and
guys. I
Get
can
the
do that.
scratchies in them.
Yeah, the scratch.
Oh,
Yeah,
scratchies are great.
you don't know how to run a scratchy. Anyway.
No, we did scratchies when we were in the States and they were so confusing. Mate, they're different here. Just
I
get a
don't-
scratchy.
actually, I don't understand the big ones. The ones that are like a $10 one where you have to, if you match this and then that, and then you get 3 cats
Yeah.
and then
Well,
what's going on?
Not enough time on the hands.
Well, 97 asked when they're announcing the winners. I'm like, mate, it's not how it fucking works.
That's lotto,
Yeah.
bro.
An update on the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So you can get one for 2 meters for $1,000.
2 meters high.
High, 2 meters high.
That's taller than me.
Yeah, but that's what you want.
It's true.
You want
actually.
okay,
No, that's a good
but
point.
if you want to go all out, you can get one for 3.5 meters and 2 meters wide for $3,000.
Whoa, what was the first
Whoa.
price?
$1,000.
That's
Wait,
still
your mum spent $1,000 on a Christmas tree?
US or Aussie dollar?
I have no idea.
Really?
Oh, wait till Rick fucking gets around this.
We've had it for maybe 4 years now.
Okay, so this isn't a recent.
No,
Because I
no,
was
no.
thinking people. Ellen DeGeneres. When is she watching Ellen?
I don't know. She must have just been
12 o'clock
Googling
every
like,
day.
Yeah, Facebook, mate.
yeah,
She's
probably
big on
Facebook.
Facebook.
But I reckon she was probably Googling like Christmas trees or whatever, and then something about Ellen DeGeneres pops up.
And what's the brand? Sorry.
Balsam Hill. BALSAM Hill.
Okay. And what's shipping cost?
Well, it's coming from the US.
Mm-hmm. It's a big package.
If you
$70.
do the Black Friday deal, you can get free delivery and up to 40% off.
I know a couple of guys that I went to high school with, they started a Christmas tree business. They bought a whole heap of shitty
Like a
Christmas.
plant, like a.
No. These were like fake from China, like what they are, but probably just the shittest brand.
What about Conspiracy Jimmy had a TV brand?
Oh, yeah.
And they had, I think it was 5 or 10 year warranties, and they couldn't relax. Like they'd finished the business, but they couldn't relax for like years. And they were like, because they were worried that the things were going to fucking break down. It's
well, I got a 2 year from today warranty on my screen
that's good.
on this phone. So
So was that all under warranty, your fix?
Oh, mate.
Or it was just their
they always
problem,
show you
so
this
they'd
is what it
fix
would have cost, and now it's zero. It would have been $450.
For a new screen.
Yeah, well, that's what they said it was going to cost, but
It didn't cost
it was under warranty still for somehow. Mate, you shouldn't have to pay a cent. When you buy a phone within a plan, if it's still in plan, you shouldn't pay
well,
one
no, you
cent.
can't. You don't. With all the consumer laws and shit, you're pretty safe.
Dude, Apple, I've never seen it this busy. Whether it's this time of year, there was, so today I went yesterday, just chock-a-block. Unbelievable.
People actually like looking, or were they in the Genius?
Nah,
Bar?
it's all help.
Don't forget new products recently just came out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And so
that's
then-
right.
So people are excited to
There's
go and play
Air-
with them. And there's the new
AirPod Pros.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
want them.
and the new
Get
phone.
those. Get those for Chrissy.
Do you think I should? You're really
Yeah.
pushing
Buy them for
them
yourself,
yeah.
mate. What else are you doing with your cash?
I was going to buy new ASICs.
They're
What?
fine. What's wrong with
Can I-
those?
Wait, do you guys use those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can I ask a question about the like it's makes it
wireless?
completely soundproof or whatever it's called?
Oh, the noise cancellation.
noise cancellation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Isn't that like really dangerous?
If you get hit by a car, it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like
But if you
seriously you
don't,
can't hear anything else outside of it?
Well, so yeah, these are the new ones. that have the noise cancellation. I wouldn't put full. You can set apparently the settings.
It's got a transparency thing, so you can turn the dial up or down or whatever, and it changes.
Which the old Bose never used to do. I find it disgusting people that run in closed headphones.
Yeah. What about lifting
like just lifting like that and just sweat pouring out?
CrossFit?
No.
What's wrong?
No,
No,
but it's
as in noise
I can
cancelling.
like it's kind of cool, just lifting heavy and with
Yeah,
a few noise cancelling. The Rock does it.
Yeah.
He loves his.
He's got his own headphone brand.
Okay, that's why he's doing it.
Do you know what's one of
He
the
actually
most
hates it, but he makes $1 million
Makes it
bucks
look good.
every time he wears them and puts a photo up.
one of the most uncomfortable situations I've ever been in with a pair of headphones? I don't know why I was doing this. I must have been on a plane. I just had my headphones on. I kept them on. Going to the toilet, but cutting out that sense of hearing. You actually
weird,
What
yeah.
do
use
you
your-
need to hear?
Well, I think you actually need to hear more than what you think because it just sort of threw me off. It's like, what's going on? It's just sort of a bit disorientating.
Will.i.am, he was wearing some noise cancelling headphones on a
This
flight
feels like
recently.
Shepparton now. What happened? 13, 10, 13, 10,
No, this is
60.
Scoopler. So
It's my
yeah, that was Candy's bit. Do you know about this, Candy? You can
No,
take
I don't.
over.
You go.
Will.i.am, he got in an argument with some Qantas staff. Because
Just
but
like
he
the
had his noise
Veronicas.
cancelling headphones on. Yeah, and the Veronicas came out and
Yeah.
said something about it. And now Qantas is saying we'll help the staff because he defamed by releasing their
He
full
named the
name.
person. Fuck
He named the
Will.i.am.
He
No, fuck him.
Yeah, it's fucked up. He named the person, said this person
Was being
racial-
racist.
Was being racist.
Which, like,
It's a big call.
Yeah, it's a huge call to say someone's names.
But I think without looking at it too much, you'd think that Qantas are pretty adamant that she wasn't being racist if they're willing to back her and help sue Will.i.am for defamation.
Yeah.
So you'd think that Qantas wouldn't get behind a racist. You'd
Absolutely
hope.
not.
You'd fucking hope.
Yeah, that's why I think I mean, if she was being racist, absolutely call out. The
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
she
yeah,
asks you to take your noise cancelling headphones off and then you say you're being racist, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Wasn't he in like super VIP seats? Like, didn't she?
Well, I
like,
think
don't you kind
really-
of accidentally treat people in those seats just a lot nicer?
I think
Yeah,
it was a flight between somewhere in Australia. So you can't, like, what plane are you? You can only fly business and they're not even that great a plane.
Business domestic is the
Yeah,
saddest
that's what I
thing
mean.
that
That's
you've
what I
ever
mean.
seen.
So it's not-
They use the
Cost
little
heaps, though.
rope.
Yeah.
It's just like that's all you're buying is that rope. Sometimes they forget and it's like, oh shit, better put up the rope.
No,
Otherwise
but
they'll
that
get pissed
rope is
off.
mean because sometimes you're sitting close to the front. You really need the bathroom,
Yeah.
and there's
Oh,
the
yeah,
cart, and you can't get to the back, and you
annoying.
want to just use the one that's just there at the rope.
You
You know
can't.
what?
Yeah, but Will.i.am won't let you. He won't. fucking let you.
Impressive thing. 97. Tell Candy the impressive thing about me on flights.
Oh, it doesn't go toilet.
Yeah. I went on the whole
Sorry?
flight 14 and
No, it feels 15 hours, didn't get up
How
once
much
to go
do you drink?
toilet.
You should be drinking a
You,
lot.
you can't drink anything. If you drink
It's
anything,
not, I
you're
love
the
how you
toilet.
set up like this is impressive. Candy, you'll be impressed.
I was impressed by your no wing. No,
But then you're also like, you're severely dehydrated.
But then you
dude.
hydrate after. You go through a sort of.
no, you should be drinking
There's
a
more.
lot.
I literally like because before we got on the flight, we went to Bluestone Lane and which is a
Aussie cafe,
Aussie
yeah.
cafe, and the funny thing was a waitress, she was serving me like a server, and Tommy asked me to go in and get the coffee, and I was talking to her. I was like, "Oh, we actually had Nick Stone on the show, and he's
the founder
the
of Bluestone.
founder of
yeah,
Bluestone
yeah.
and all that sort of thing." And she was then saying that she's a dietitian and she's from Australia, and she's there for like 8 more months. And then she said, "Oh, I can give you some tips on what to do like pre-flight." I said, "Actually, to be
Great.
honest, I disengage my core and just like don't do anything. I just put headphones. I actually had my mask on the whole time,
Yeah.
didn't move it. But the annoying thing was I got in the car and I had this great conversation. I thought, geez, I'm charming. And then I get into the car and I give Tommy the coffee, and he'd spoken to her the day before and reeled out the exact same lines about interviewing Nick. So she must have been so confused. Or she would have been like, oh, I've gotten the co-host. What is this?
It's a weird thing.
Or maybe she thinks you're like some weird stalker sitting in the corner who listened to that story.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
The,
next level complex.
What is fucking getting real weird is like when shit happens and I watch you and I'm like, I know what I would say in this moment, and you actually just step in and say it. So not even on the podcast. This is outside of the podcast. So it could be in a cafe or something. I'm just like,
If you were girls, your periods would be in sync.
oh,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be in cycle. So we say
Absolutely.
it.
Cycle aligned. Yeah.
Cycle aligned.
Yeah.
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 beer-
In Shepparton, there was actually remember Maz? There was a guy who
Yeah,
did
of
the
course.
shift after us.
Wasn't he? Oh no, he wasn't.
He did
Yeah.
so he did like the announcing after us,
Yeah.
solo announcing. We had a pee cycle that was identical. That we would just always bump into each other in the toilet. Like every fucking time I went to the
Really?
toilet, he was there. And I was
romantic.
just like, dudes, our pee cycles are fucking
I guess it makes sense.
locked.
So
Fat
can we talk
Fridays.
about Fat
Fat Friday. So Shoppo was there, and at Shoppo there's a company. I don't know if is this worldwide.
Mrs. Fields? No,
Mrs. Fields?
I don't think so.
Cookies.
The other thing that we haven't mentioned is welcome to anyone from Matt Diavalla's video that's watching us. But if all these references go over your head, we're sorry.
Yeah.
But this is Mrs. Fields, and Shoppo is in Doncaster, which is a suburb outside of Melbourne.
It's a great shopping
It's
centre.
in Melbourne.
It's in Melbourne. It's definitely in
I was
Melbourne.
just going to wait
Okay,
to
it's
see
in-
your,
yeah, it's
your
in-
definition of that.
So today is Mrs. Fields Cookies, which is specifically a cookie joint, versus Subway, which is not specifically a cookie joint, but they're known for their cookies. So it's a cookie v cookie, and we're going to do a taste test here. This is purely based on which one you like better. Do you like the Subway or the Mrs. Fields? And I did it the wrong way. Do you like the Mrs. Fields or the Subway? Which one do you like better? So there's 5 of us in this room. 5, 6.
How many cookies did you get?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you probably bought based on the first round of numbers.
Well, you don't need to have a
I'm
whole
good
fucking
with a
cookie
half
if you don't.
cookie.
You can have a bite. This guy,
So I haven't had lunch.
this is not lunch. So
You didn't have breakfast, did you?
I'm literally going to take a little bit.
Just my apple.
I was planning for this to be a big blowout. And if I get half a fucking cookie, I'm going
that's
to be
annoying.
pissed.
Okay, so I've got.
This is.
I'm just taking a few little bits of each,
Okay.
but I know which one's which. All right, so I've got some Mrs. Fields. And
Oh wait, you are trying to. You said before that you weren't blind test.
we're not blind testing. I'm just know which one's which because I need to tell you. I'm going to taste.
Do you
So
understand
all we're
what's
doing
going
today
on?
is having a bite of each and going which one do we
Why
like
were you doing
better.
this?
But you know which.
Why were you doing that?
Was I?
Like you were. Why? Do you want me not to know which is which?
No, dude.
So you're fine with that?
This is what happens when his blood sugar's low. He just
Do you
completely-
Just wants
understand?
to, he just wants to compare quality. He doesn't care if you don't know which one's which. Having said that, though, Tommy, a better way to do a food test is to not know which
Yeah,
is which
exactly.
and say, "Oh, that one tastes better."
Yeah,
Only because if you have a bias, so you think, "I already know I love
Yeah.
the Subway
yeah,
cookies."
Yeah.
Can I have a all choc
But
one of
today
the?
is just a quality test.
Quality test. Which one do you like better?
I mean, the annoying thing is I'm going to have to have the. Oh, you've already put them in half. That's fine.
It's so angry.
All right, here we go.
All right, Candy.
So, which one should I try first? Should I try the Mrs. Fields or the
No,
Subway?
go Subway.
Okay.
Subway first.
I've gone the opposite.
Okay, great.
So I've gone Mrs. Fields. All right, good.
I can already tell what I'm going to like
I
more.
already know which one I'm going to like.
Okay. So I've gone Mrs. Fields first. Now I'm going Subway. And then we have to make our decision. There's a mic couch, so we'll get the boys on the couch.
All right. So the first one.
Oh, it was. Don't even have to taste it to know.
Have you had both yet?
Yep. I didn't. I knew I didn't have to taste it to know. Look at this texture. Look at this, guys. It's like
Oh yeah. So now,
fishy
yeah.
and wet.
So that's what you want.
It's what you want in a cookie.
For me,
So-
yeah.
Mrs. Fields wins by far.
So that's your vote.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's 2 Mrs. Fields. I'm going to go Subway because I want to be different.
But Mrs. Fields is more cakey.
That's what I'm saying. It's squishy and
yeah,
wet.
and that's what you want. Squishy and wet.
Yep.
There's the title of the app.
I'm going Subway.
Are you really though? Do you believe that?
Okay, so we got another Mrs.
Mrs.
Fields.
Fields.
3 Mrs. Fields versus 1 Subway.
I'm going to have to say Mrs. Fields as well.
4 Mrs.
Wow.
Fields.
97 doesn't know how his mic works.
Yeah.
Got to hit the wrong button. Mrs. Fields.
Mrs. Fields.
It is better, isn't it?
So did you really mean the Subway, or were you just saying it's trying to be different?
I was trying to be different.
The Mrs. Fields one was amazing.
No, Subway, you
it tastes
fucked
like it
up.
had a lot more butter in it.
Maybe, because I've always thought Subway cookies are amazing, but maybe it's because you've just had a Subway.
Yeah.
Or I would say, at a pure guess, I would say the Mrs. Fields cookies are definitely cooked on site, and potentially the Subway cookies come from somewhere.
I've seen them cooking the Subway cookies.
Yeah,
I
they
reckon
they're
that's
sitting
why
in
I
that
bought them.
thing.
They're smelling them.
the oven. I think they make
is
them
that
in the
an
oven.
oven, or is that just a thing that they
I'm
sit
pretty
in?
sure that they do that. Can you find out 97?
Because I reckon the Mrs. Fields one, because it's not as big a chain, is it? I don't think it is. would probably be made like on site right there, really fresh.
Oh, you hope so. I mean, they taste pretty fresh. No, the Mrs. Field. Sorry, guys.
What
It's
is-
just been a fuckhead.
The thing is, what is fresh when you're
For
talking
cookie?
about a cookie?
Not crunchy.
And so surely they can just put ingredients in it that makes it seem fresh.
But then maybe there's more preservatives in
Yeah.
the Subway
I'll tell you
one.
what's fresh. New York, just near Central Park. There's this cookie place.
Oh, that's great,
I'm sure
yeah.
you've been there, Candy.
I
You
don't
love New
normally
York.
go and like hang out at cookie places.
No, but there's a cookie place near it. It's like real famous.
Yeah.
And
I know the
it's
bagel
just,
place that's near it's really
it's just
famous.
they're fat and it's like a piece of cake, but
Right.
in a cookie.
Brie was telling me she was listening to our episode with Alex and Mimi,
Subway, yuck.
and she was
But
and she
yeah,
was
he
saying,
finishes it.
and she was saying, yeah, definitely. Mimi was talking about this great hole in the wall in Venice. Talking about it, I was like, oh, really? And Bree's like, you've been there. I'm really bad at knowing where I've actually
Yeah, I'm with
been.
you. Except when I'm there and I can see it, then maybe I know.
Well, I'm not good with remembering the names or whatever.
We got no fact of the day. We need to find a new place where we can get a.
Well, I mean, so we've got some inside information from one of the workers at Subway. They get the dough pre-packaged and frozen, and they put the frozen dough balls into a tray and cook them.
I mean, that's
So it's-
cookie making, isn't it?
Well, it's
we
also
expecting them to
It's-
add butter and
no, but they're not making them from scratch on site.
it's so they can make consistent.
yeah.
Yeah, but
consistently
this
the
is what
same
I'm thinking.
cookies.
So, which means there'd probably be more preservatives in it, and it's not fresh. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
Which
been
is
frozen.
definitely, if it's been frozen, it's definitely not fresh.
No,
Freshly frozen.
Are you
Isn't
kidding?
that like snap frozen?
What about
yeah,
what about
yeah, snap frozen. What the? That's like just freshly picked or
Yeah.
caught.
That's what the frozen spinach is
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the one that you
peas.
can't put into
Peas,
smoothies.
without cooking it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you do
know
that?
about
No, I
Candy,
don't-
you're a smoothie gal.
I'm not.
You're
I
not?
only
Any-
do pineapple.
Did you do smoothies? No, that
Never.
wasn't you. No.
Always pineapple.
a juice?
Yeah, because pineapple, fresh pineapples have the only natural anti-inflammatory property of any food.
Really? What does
It's
that
really good
mean?
for your voice. So and today's an awesome example. It's the first time in like seriously 5 years that my voice is just it's gone.
Did you tackle a bottle of red like JJ the other night?
One? No. Yeah, maybe.
What would have happened? Do you reckon a difference between 1 and 2?
Oh, yes.
What would be the
Severe
main
headache.
I literally
versus-
like fell into
a
bed.
good call because I reckon you hit a point and then everything after that's just
Diminishing
Funny
returns.
jam, yeah.
I was watching. I was watching Perfect Holiday, and I texted Hamish, Andy, Ryan. Guys, this is the best thing I've ever. Like, just,
you drunk
just-
text.
yeah, I was just
texting.
like, going just real hard with everyone. I was just like afterwards. Fucking,
Did you
Oh,
regret
yeah.
in the morning?
no, message Ben Fordham about his dad passing away. Just fucking like just messaging everyone.
Got on the text.
Yeah,
No,
got
but
real.
it's the thing is, it's actually how you feel. So you are.
I was like, it was a bit
connecting with-
easier. I'm like, I've been meaning to do this. Fuck, it's a
I
bit
don't know why
easier.
texting is easier when we're drinking. I'm with you on that.
Yes.
I've been wanting to say that thing I'll just say it now.
Yeah.
I was just like, just bulk. And everyone like wrote back. It was all nice.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have known.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, and I also
Blurry
stand by. It
text.
was also really good. Perfect Holiday.
Oh, it was a great show.
Funny. Did you watch it on catch up?
Yeah, I watched that night. It finished at 8:30. I started watching it at 8:31. Amazed that I could actually. It actually gave me faith in television. So the networks in Australia, well, there's very few. And compared to the States, there's like so many networks. In Australia, there's like, what, the big four? No, 3
7,
plus,
9, 10.
plus ABC and SBS.
All the
So-
digital channels.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
as
Oh,
well.
So,
yeah.
but then they're actually making the play, which they have to, into the digital space. So you can watch everything that you wanted, but you don't have to have a TV signal anymore.
See, Scott Tweedy's finished up on the loop.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Congratulations, Scott.
I can't believe you didn't message him when you were going.
No, I did.
He's moving overseas. He's got a
Oh,
role
really?
overseas. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know
I'll text him now, see what's up.
Yeah, no, have a bottle and then.
Oh, yeah, no.
It feels like I don't know how TV network stuff works. I know what time of year everything changes in radio, and it's always just before the radio awards because otherwise everyone gets drunk at the awards and tells each other everything. But in TV, this must be the time because if you notice that so many people, like Sonia Kruger
Yeah.
just left Channel 9.
Do you reckon, is Sonia going to.
That's a
Big Brother?
speculation. No,
Did I hear that from someone?
I thought the
It makes
speculation she's
sense.
going to 7, but doesn't 10 have Big Brother?
No, 7 now has
Oh, well,
Big
then
Brother.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
And was it
I
97?
don't watch TV.
Was it you that saying that Australian Open's moving to Channel
yes.
9?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
tennis and the cricket swapped networks this year.
What that deal would
Like
be
2 years
worth
ago.
is ridiculous. Hundreds of
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah.
They spend so much
But
money
that's
on
all.
that shit.
That's the only way that sport grows and makes money is through these network deals. So
I want to understand KO. I nearly pressed subscribe on KO.
Was that Sunday night
you would
too?
have got 30,
Yeah.
30 days free. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
No, well, the way they do it, they say 15 days free and you can't get out of the first, like you're out of pocket at least $24. It's not one of those ones whereas if you cancel within you can't cancel within your first month or
I
something.
have a hack.
Oh, tell me.
Maybe I don't know how much I should say it.
That's-
Twitch. You guys, are you familiar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Twitch is moving very much into the sports space now and building all
really?
these relationships, and Twitch is free. So I got a Chromecast the other day,
Mm-hmm.
attach it to my TV, and now I can watch things that are normally only on subscription TV.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
so
good-
people are streaming them on their Twitch
No, but
accounts.
it's legit though, right?
Legit- No, it's
Yeah.
totally. I'm not doing anything
Yeah, yeah.
illegal.
So
It's
wait-
just that it's available on Twitch.
Oh, that's good. CNN. So I bought the Apple TV 4K or whatever, and because I wanted to do it for Disney Plus and all that sort of thing, all these things that have coming out, and they said CNN on the box because I love a bit of like watching traumatic television, and anyway, not available in Australia, which I thought was weird.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
annoying.
and so I was like,
Pull a Scott Tweedy. Let's move overseas. We got to go back to the States. We got visas, so we can go back.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
give it a crack.
And I don't think they're not
Probably.
onto us for anything that we
No.
did untoward in the States, are they?
we tried
No?
edibles, marijuana. We did
I
that.
saw your secret video
Yeah.
coming out, but I didn't see the video.
It actually
it's-
had
it's
more
pretty
views.
unbelievable.
It had more views than our normal episodes.
Yeah, you
It's-
teased it quite well.
yeah.
People love a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
but it's
100
also it's a good one to keep private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, we
No,
know
as in
everything's
like
career
free.
damaging.
Yeah. Well, no, just it's like just another. Well, it's just not legal here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's a
interesting.
funny
Yeah.
one. Anyway.
We won't open that back up.
No, what? The
The secret video.
secret
we sort of
video?
closed it. didn't we?
Look, we're suckers for people who want to see our stuff.
Yeah.
So if you email us, I don't know.
Hi at thedailytalkshow.com if you email
There's
us.
a chance you might be able to see.
Leave us an Apple Podcast review if you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
If you didn't like this show, that's okay.
Tomorrow, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
And then the following day.
Yeah, every single day. Tomorrow, Adam and Simon from Gogglebox.
Right.
I wanted to ask them all these questions, and they've already told me they're like, we can't give all the secrets away with how they do Gogglebox.
Yeah.
So-
Reality TV, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you don't
how do you
wanna-
think they
don't
do
wanna-
it? Do you reckon there's a camera
They film it,
operator?
that's for sure, because it's
No,
on
I
telly.
think there's just cameras set up.
Do you reckon they press on record?
They do.
Yeah. Do you reckon, or do you think?
Or it's
that-
like Big
I mean,
Brother and it's
actually,
just
no, I
going.
take that back because it's always clear, good shots,
Mm-hmm.
and like normal people wouldn't know how to make sure it's definitely set up with the same perfect clear shot. So now I'm not sure.
Well,
never know.
tomorrow, we're not talking about that with them, but we're talking about a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, great. It's a Daily Talk Show. See you tomorrow, guys.
See you guys.